We good? Good. I'm happy. Tori and Jonathan, I like to help people tell their stories, and this is TJ Talks, the podcast. I feel I have been running a little bit long. I said this is going to be a short podcast. We're still under 20, so I've kept true to my word, but they've been getting up there. This is a check for the day. This week is going to be short and sweet because it covers a topic that you're either going to be 100% on board with or vehemently against. We're talking health. Health is wealth. I know you've heard that plenty of times. I've heard it many of times. Until about 2 years ago, or who am I kidding? About 3 years ago, I didn't really care. I was just doing it out of habit. But changing habits, certain habits, I started to see the benefits in doing it. Like for one, I got my cheat sheet. For one, your mental health is just that, mental health. People don't realize that your health can affect not just your physical, but your mental. I finally realized that exercise actually helped me to breathe. I'm not just talking about the physical cardio and all that other stuff, but exercising, the habit of exercising, let me breathe a little bit better up here. I always have, or I'm always thinking about 20 ideas at a time. While exercising, for some reason, those 20 sifted down to a solid 2. I'm not sure if that works for everybody, but while I was working out, it dawned on me, you know the answers to everything that you're thinking about. So then only 2 things drop through. And then you follow through on those 2 things. I'm not sure if that's how it works for everybody, but I can only speak from experience. When it comes to videography and photography, I know what I'm doing, and I'm always experimenting. After I get what I know I came for, and we have a little more time left over because I'm efficient, I then just start to experiment. I experiment from a place of, I know this is going to work, but I kind of want to see how it looks. I know that goes hand in hand for a lot of other creatives where you know how to do it the longer you've done it. So you know how to do it one way. If you're being paid, you know how to do this one way that is going to work. But being an artist, we experiment. Sifting through those ideas so that when it's time to be in the position to experiment comes from exercise, I've learned. Exercise has been one of my favorite ways of sifting through ideas. There's a bike off camera. I get on that and then I'm just pedaling. But while I'm pedaling, I'm thinking of other things. That's my sifter. When I'm jumping rope, outside of making sure the rope is actually clearing my feet, but once it's consistently clearing my feet, sifting through ideas. Exercise lets you breathe mentally. But physical can enforce clearing your mind. Like I just said about the exercising, aiding in the clearing, starting the sifting process. I know for a fact that some people do not like exercise at all, or they will do it because you think you want to get an instant result. Everybody has said this, and now I'm going to tell you this. You're just flat out negligent if you think this happens overnight. I had to turn myself into an exercise person. Exercise is not fun. Exercise is not fun. I have to repeat this again. Exercise is not fun. But it can be habit. The moment you turn it into a habit, that's when you can start to find some fun things within it. But no, exercise is not fun. If it's fun, you're not doing it right. Exercising can help you build up muscle memory, can teach your body how it needs to react. And people don't realize this, but lifting weights alone is not proper exercise. Only thing you're doing is tearing and building muscles. If you know that process properly, you're just tearing and building muscles when you're just lifting weights. Do everything else. And the older you get, the everything else is the only thing you can do properly. That's what you need to be doing anyway. So don't belittle doing everything else. The walking, it adds up. If you can jog, do it. If you can run, all the better. If you can't do any of the above, stick with the walking. It's still exercise. It adds up. Just be consistent. Remember how I'm a big person on consistency. Consistency in working out can lead to consistency in working. It adds up. These things all compound. So start somewhere. Which brings me to the most important part. Food, eating, all the above. I can speak to the fact that, okay, I wasn't big on working out. I would start, stop. I would do this for a little bit, be off the train in a little bit. But within about 2 or 3 weeks, I think that was my most back in the days, I couldn't remain consistent. So the reason I finally got it together was eating. People don't realize, but what you eat is what you are. You are what you eat. I do not want to put a label on what I am currently, but I am conscious of what I'm putting into me now. I pay attention to what I'm putting into me now. I have not had pork intentionally. I've not had pork in, it's been a while, a lot of years. I've never been a lamb person, all that other stuff. The only animal meat I've had in a while has been turkey, chicken, salmon, and tilapia. Although I think tilapia is man-made. Don't quote me on that. But very few animal meats. I've been eating a lot of plant-based meats. And the beauty I've learned is once you get comfortable cooking it, and I've been cooking more, once you get comfortable cooking with it, there are some times in some dishes I actually prefer the plant-based versions over the real meat versions. Like nowadays, I might be converted a little bit because I will eat chick-in, CHIK apostrophe in, over chicken, regular. Depending on what I'm eating. Like I like chick-in nuggets a little bit more than regular chicken nuggets. Hey, pair that with some fries. I consider that a healthier approach. Small steps. I did not always like eating properly. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I would sit at my kitchen table. My mother would not let me leave the kitchen table without eating dinner. I would not eat the vegetables. I would not eat the vegetables. I fell asleep at the kitchen table many a times because I didn't eat the vegetables. It is what it is. I finally got to a place where I liked eating vegetables right around 2013, after I was doing my first set of infusions for my MS. They said, okay, we got to change your diet because apparently these lesions are multiplying and whatnot. They did the C scan, looked in there and said, it's kind of dirty back here. There was a whole lot in the way of my spinal cord. So at that point, they weren't going to tell you that because the doctors, of course, keep you on the medicine, keep you in the machine, will keep you around. All my family and then alternative medicine doctor that my sister put me on to all said, change your diet first and stick to it. That's easier to do. This thing that's harder for some people to do is to break the habit of always getting what you're used to and add in what you need to have. That experience opened me up to trying different things. So I tried everything. And I mean everything. And now, 4-ish years later, I can tell you, who am I kidding, 7-ish years later? 8 years later? I can tell you, I know what vegetables I like and how to season them and cook them myself. But it's up to you to make that change. Because again, the last part I'm going to pass on to everybody that's listening to me is food is cheaper than medicine. Your doctor can tell you what to do, but he's not going to do it for you. The moment you are in the doctor, it's a lot easier for them to hook you up to an IV, which is a IV bag, which I believe is sterile water, saline water, which is water and salt, and put that directly into your veins over just grabbing the water bottle itself. Drink the water. They have so many different types of water now. If you are not a water drinker, I recommend drinking alkaline water. Is it expensive? Yes, depending on where you get it. But start with alkaline water. I guarantee you, if you drank regular spring or filtered water and you try alkaline water, you're going to drink more than you usually do. Alkaline water is lighter. I don't know the exact differences and why. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look into that and I'll probably have that for you at another time. But either way, Tori and Jonathan, this has been my spiel. I know people don't like to hear about health, but again, you only get one of these. Take care of it. And food is the key. Tori and Jonathan, I like to help people tell their stories, and this has been TJ Talks, the podcast. Hope to talk to y'all next week. Later.